Now, if you don't know what High School DxD is, well, I think you're in for a treat. Now, before you start witch hunting me, just hear me out. Just hold your pitchforks till the end, everyone. I swear to you, I'm not just here for the boobs.
What?
No, alright. I know that's...
Maybe I should have worded that better. I share my Crunchyroll account with my brother, so from time to time, I scroll down the history page and see what he's watching to decide what I might watch next. And that's when I saw it. With the little knowledge I had of the show, which was just it's a shonen Harlem, I dove in expecting something similar to Date A Live. Boy, was I wrong. Maybe I should have at least read the Crunchyroll description. So I really knew what I was in for about 5 minutes into the first episode when this happened. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What am I watching? Here I was at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, watching what I thought would be a heartwarming Harlem anime, when a pair of extra large knockers appears on my phone screen. At this point, I paused the show and looked up what the hell DxD was, and I got this uninformative description. After being killed on his first date, idiotic and perverted Issei is resurrected as a demon by Rias Gremory, only to be recruited into her club of high-class devils. This did not tell me why massive jugglers had just appeared on my screen, so I made another Google search. Oh. I watched 5 episodes that night. High School DxD is exactly what it tries to be, an ecchi Harlem with a plot. Now what I didn't know going into it was that the plot would be so goddamn entertaining. The show follows main protagonist Issei as he fights various antagonists and gets stronger after each one. Yeah, I know, it's like every shonen that you've ever known. But hear me out, I'll tell you why it's different. Better yet, hear Issei out, he'll tell you why it's different. Yes, you heard him right. This shonen is not afraid to show the naked body on multiple occasions per episode of what I can only assume and hope is 18-year-old girls. Oh, thank God I'm safe. While this is a great tactic to draw horny teenage boys, once you're 3 or 4 episodes in, you find yourself still watching, not for the oversized coconuts bouncing around every few minutes, but for the interesting plot. Yes, that's right, DxD fans. We've moved up in society from being degenerates to being cultured degenerates. Now, the opening line of the first episode explains Issei's goal in life pretty well. This is then followed by, hide your eyes kids, a shower scene with Rias Gremory explaining the importance of Issei and the power he holds. Why they decided to do this during a shower scene, I do not know. Or actually I do know, but I refuse to accept that I know. And it's at this point that you understand what anime you are watching. Issei is then later approached on his way home by a girl who asks him to be her boyfriend. With nothing meaningful in his life besides his undeniable perversion, he has no reason not to accept. Flash forward 4 minutes and Issei and said girl are on a date, and she turns out to be a fallen angel sent to kill him and murders Issei, who utters the most empowering final words in anime history. What an amazing guy, am I right? Following his death, he wakes up to find that he is still alive thanks to the powers of the lovely Rias Gremory, who lets him know that he now serves her as her house's pawn. Of course, during all these scenes, there's enough fan service nudity to make me rethink my life choices and make my girlfriend want to hang me from a tree. Now, you may be asking yourself, Luke, why the hell is Issei a pawn? Well, viewer, 1, you should stop talking to yourself, and 2, the answer to that question lies in episode 2. During so we are introduced to the Gremory household and which rank each member holds. Issei with the rank of the pawn, cat girl Kaneko, who may look small and cute but ironically holds the rank of the rook. There's also Mr. Boy Band himself, U2, who holds the rank of knight, the goddess of boobs so big your back might blow out, Akeno, who holds the rank of queen, and lastly Rias, who ranks the king and leads the club. You may be asking, why the hell are demons attending a high school on Earth? Well, viewer, it seems that Satan himself thought that the best way for demons to do whatever it is they do was run a high school from the shadows with 2 different devil households attending said high school. Now, houses are pretty much family clans. Rias Grimmery's house is Grimmery, as it is the family that she belongs to, which is also the house our special little pervert Issei now belongs to. The Grimmery house operates under the alias of the Occult Club at the high school, while the Sittery, the other demon house at the school, acts as the student council. These 2 houses basically run the school, while every other student that is not a demon seems to be completely oblivious to the fact that they have demons at their school, even though sometimes it's extremely obvious that they are demons. Following the events of Issei being told all of this, our hero gains his new and more impactful motive. What could that motive be? Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. The following episode is when our first real story arc begins. Ashia, an 18-year-old sister of the church, bumps into our perverted degenerate that is Issei. Now wait, before you go trying to become a brother so you can meet some beautiful blonde like Ashia, let it be known that nuns do not look like this. I'm sorry to shatter your dreams. Issei ends up thinking that she's the most perfect being in the universe and wants to date her. And I mean, can you blame him? After helping Ashia on her way to the town church and promising to visit her, Issei returns to Rias to be told to never go near the church again. What's the matter, Rias? Jealous? This makes the church our first antagonist. Issei, sad because he'll never get to see the blonde beauty again, goes on one of his devil contracts to find his customer in a pool of blood. Shocked, Issei is thrown into a fight with a priest who is a bit off his rocker when Ashia walks in and the 2 realize each other's true identities. Issei being a devil and Ashia being a devil hunter. After Issei is beaten to a pulp, Ashia tries to protect Issei from the priest, and he tries to rape her. Yeah, it got a little dark, didn't it? Fortunately for us, the Grimmery house comes to save the day and no one is harmed. Except for the man who's in a pool of blood. Yeah, he's dead. After the encounter with the priest, Ashia is taken away forcefully, and Issei wants to perform a rescue mission to free her. Rias denies him as it seems that Ashia is working under the fallen angels, and it'd be too dangerous to go and rescue her. But by a stroke of sheer luck somehow, once again, Ashia stumbles upon Issei, and they go on a date, during which Issei's short-time lover and long-time murderer returns. After a short talk with his supposed ex-girlfriend, it seems that Ashia is being used by the fallen angels for her healing powers against her will. After being taken away, Issei goes to Rias to devise a rescue plan to free Ashia. During the rescue, we get to see Akeno and Rias absolutely obliterate some fallen angels, while Issei, Mr. Boyband, and Kaneko rescue Ashia. But they're too late. In a fit of rage, Issei kills his short-time lover, long-time murderer. Rias revives Ashia as a bishop for her house, and we can rejoice as another female joins the Harlem. Afterwards, there's a 3-episode lull before the next big arc where Issei trains and becomes a better fighter, or a better pervert. They're pretty much the same thing at this point. During this episode lull, he comes in touch with his sacred gear, which is the Welsh dragon that lives inside him and is feared by even God himself. Issei finds out that he is the Red Dragon Emperor, who is crowned at random to have the power of Dreg the Welsh dragon every time an emperor dies. Dreg tells Issei that he will give him godlike power as compensation for the fate that lies down the road for Issei, fighting the White Dragon Emperor to the death. During this time, we learn a little bit about the Satiri household as well, and get lots and lots of borderline hentai. To add to this seemingly endless pile of fan service, later that episode, Rias comes to Issei asking him to take her virginity. No, I did not read that wrong. And this is where our second story arc of the season begins. This arc can pretty much be summed up as the Phoenix House, another devil house, has been promised the hand of the daughter of the Grimmery house, who is Rias. Rias does not want this, so after Riser, the one that's supposed to take her hand in marriage, appears, Harlem leader Issei flips shit. After Issei gets bitch slapped, Riser and Rias agree to duke it out in a rating game, which is basically like a fancy game of chess with shonen fights. Oh, and nudity. Let's not forget that. That's what makes this show different. There's a lull period where Rias gets to train her house members a little bit before the game, and during this time, Issei learns some new moves. One that is especially interesting. After training for about a week, the Phoenix and Grimmery households are transported onto the playing grounds, and the game begins. All the fights between household members were super entertaining to watch, especially the Knight fight and the Queen fight. And then there was Issei's fights.
どうだ見たか。脳内で女の子の服を消し飛ばすイメージを延々と、そう延々と妄想し続け、俺はモテる魔力の才能を全て女の子を裸にするために使い切ったんだ。これが俺の必殺技、ドレスブレイクだ。
下品な。
Yeah, that was the new move that he perfected. After everyone is defeated besides Rias, Issei, and Riser of the Phoenix, they have one last bout where Issei states his loyalty to Rias and almost dies while Rias just sits there and watches it all. Do something! Rias then calls the fight, not wanting Issei to die, and the Grimmery house loses. She is then taken away off to get married, and Issei wakes up and gets super pissed about this. So Issei, with the permission from Rias' brother, who by the way is King Lucifer, yeah, just a small little detail I forgot to tell you, crashes the wedding and goes to fight Riser for Rias' hand in marriage. Now you may be thinking, how the hell is Issei supposed to win after he just lost to this guy? Well, remember how Drake promised him power? Issei gives up his left arm to the dragon so that he can withstand the power of his sacred gear, bounce breaker, dragon scale mail. Even with giving up his right arm, at this moment in time, Issei can only hold this form for 10 seconds. So he tries to finish the fight fast, only to lose form a second too soon. Now that the battle has shifted into Riser's favor, it seems all hope is lost for our perverted Issei. Well, that's where you're wrong. Issei uses the little brain power he seems to have to transfer his red dragon power to a bottle of holy water he got from Ashia to completely deform the face of Riser. He takes this opening to fuse the power of a crucifix and holy water with his dragon laser beam and annihilates Riser. After taking this critical hit, Riser's sister steps in, calling the battle so that he would not die, in which she and Issei share a little moment, further making me question why the hell everyone seems to like this man whose sole purpose in life is to be the king of Harlems. With Riser defeated, our hero rides into the starry night sky on a griffin with Rias, and the two share a kiss. In the closing events of season 1, we get to see Rias move into Issei's house with Ashia, and they all live happily ever after. Except Ashia's a little pissed because she wants Issei to herself, and now Rias wants Issei to herself, and it starts getting ugly. But that's all in season 2. You gotta go check out season 2 if you want to see that part. Now, at first when I was making this video, I tried to do a brief summary of this show, but looking back at my script, this was not so brief. But hey, I did pretty good, didn't I? The big question, and the reason I made this video though, is what I'm about to answer. Should you watch it? Despite all of the in-your-face fan service, I still have to say yes, you should watch it. If you're into animes with badass style fights and an interesting story, look no further. This show's got such a cool thing going with the 3 different factions of fallen angels, angels, and devils, and in the following seasons, it just gets better and better. This is one of those shows though that you have a hard time recommending to your friends without them thinking you're a lowlife. So tread carefully. This anime's got representation from all genres with like slice of life happening, shonen, ecchi, romance, Harlem, all present throughout the show. There's a little something here for everyone to enjoy. And yeah, there's a lot of bare breasts too. So if you're into that, there you go. I feel my final words for this video should be the classic statement that I think all DxD fans live by. And that is, I came for the boobs and I stayed for the plot.